Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Snark Bait. We have a bit of a special guest today. So, Sophie's out of office. She's taking care of some family things, but rest assured, we have a great person in her place today for Dark Energy Tuesday. Welcome, Rachel, our social media manager, to the pod. Rachel, how are you?
I am great. It's a beautiful Friday, and I'm so excited to be here. It's my first like full episode talking, so I'm a little nervous, but I really like all the topics. So hopefully, I have some insight to share.
You
Maybe a
will
little.
you will do a fabulous, fabulous job. And if you guys haven't already listened to our Survivor episode, Rachel was featured on there for like a portion of the episode where we talked about the Black Widow Brigade. If you guys haven't listened to the Survivor episode, if you've never even seen an episode of Survivor, I assure you this episode, regardless, is still so much fun to listen to because I learned a lot and it made me like my jaw was dropping 90% of the time, even though I had no idea what Rachel and Sophie were talking about.
I can't wait for you to watch it.
I
Like, I
know.
really can't wait.
I was getting so much flack from people. They were saying, "I can't believe you established yourself as a reality TV connoisseur when you don't know who Parvati is."
I mean, she is so iconic, but like it's such a different like realm of reality TV. And I mean, there's 50 seasons, so it's like a beast in its own. Like that's how I feel about I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but like Bravo. Like I don't really know a lot of Bravo. It's a huge blind spot for me. So
No, I think that when it comes to pop culture, there are people like you, like friend of the pod, Shannon from Fluently Forward, also not a Bravo head. But it's okay. We can't dive into everything. But I do feel like we have a good mix between our entire team. And speaking of, I guess let us know a little bit about yourself, Rachel. Like, where are you based out of? How did you learn about Snarkbait Pod? And of course,
yeah.
what do you like about working with us?
Of course. Well, my obviously I'm Rachel. I'm based out of Philly, so go Birds if we have any fellow Philly listeners here. But yeah, I found Snarkbait because I listened to Christy's older podcast, X Knows All,
Oh, I
and I
forgot
loved
about
the
that.
content.
Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. Yeah.
No, I like found you in like 2023, and I was like, I'm just like picky with podcasts. Like I love podcasts, but I'll like a certain episode here and there, and I don't like stick with them a lot. So then when X Knows All stopped posting, I was like, like where'd you go?
Yeah.
And I followed you since then. And then when I saw the news of Snark Bait, I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I started listening right in the beginning. I think Nick Viall was the first episode, or at least one of the first
Wow.
ones. And I was just so and like I loved the content. And I think I emailed you guys, just like cold emailed, like at some point in the spring in your first year. And I was like, just let me do anything. Like, I just
Yeah.
want to be a part because I love pop culture. I love reality TV, though I have my blind spots, but I love like my bread and butter is like early 2000s, Lindsay Lohan, Bimbo Summit. Like, that's where I find the most joy. So, but
Yes.
this podcast just really encompassed like everything. I like true crime, all of it. So I just love
Actually,
working with you guys.
oh, thank you so much. And I think that what's interesting is that I feel like Olivia and Sophie are really similar in their interests. I
Yeah,
don't know. I can't like put my finger on exactly what, but they watch the same Bravo shows. They have similar
right.
senses of humor. And I feel like you and I, on the other hand, we have similar interests in true crime. We obsess over the
Yep.
same cases like Maura Murray
Yep.
and early 2000s millennial
Yeah.
type pop culture. Not to
Yeah.
say that Olivia and Sophie don't share those same interests, but I do feel like you and I are super similar in what we obsess
100%.
over.
100%. I mean, that's how I found your original podcast. I think was from the true crime, but I also listened to all of the deep dives into the celebrity and everything. Yeah, I love a nostalgic moment for the pop culture, and then for true crime. I mean, I've just been watching Kendall Ray since I was like 17. So
Yeah, I forgot she's an OG kind of true crime blogger YouTuber. I
yeah,
feel like you can put her in the same bucket as Stephanie Sue,
yeah,
Mr. Ballin, Crime Junkie, but she is like
yeah.
an OG YouTuber true crime
Yep.
gal. So, and speaking of Rachel on our team, you guys already know we're going to be going on tour. Rachel's going to be at every single tour. She's helping us ideate, helping us with all the social media strategy. If you guys don't already follow us, all the beautiful reels and graphics is all Rachel. So at Snarkbait Pod on Instagram. And we're going on tour LA May 15th, New York City June 12th, Chicago June 14th. And by the way, I've already secured makeup artists for LA and New York City But if anyone knows any Chicago-based makeup artists or you as a baby snark are interested in doing our makeup for Chicago or hair, please email me at Christy@snarkbaitpod.com because I'm still on the lookout or on the hunt for someone to help us with our glam the day of the tour in Chicago. And speaking of two other plugs, substack.com/@snarkbaitpod. We just released a Substack 2 weeks ago. And I know I talked about my bronzer, my like glittery spray on bronzer, and it wasn't on the first Substack, but it is now listed on the second one. So if you head on over to our second post, substack.com/@snarkbaitpod, all of that is mentioned in our show notes. And we come out with Patreons. Every Wednesday, we have bonus content as well as ad-free episodes Tuesday, Thursday. So in lieu of Sophie being out of office this week, tomorrow we have an incredibly special guest. You guys already know who this person is. She's one of my besties, one of the OG podcast girlies. The reason kind of like that I got a big following on X Knows All, so you guys can probably guess who that is. You guys can comment on our Instagram DET carousel for your guesses. But other than that, Rachel, are you ready for us to get into the episode?
I'm so ready. Can't wait.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so I think first and foremost, the thing that is taking over New York City influencer snark is Halley Kate's engagement. We've already done an episode on Halley Kate. I must admit, Halley Kate is a bit of a blind spot for me. All I really know is her lore from our episode, to be very honest. But I do know the Sophia LaCourte Reed asking Sophia LaCourte out a couple of days after he and Halley broke up. Now it appears that they just got engaged over the last week, and people are freaking out. And I think the majority of the commentary about Halley Kate and Reed is that Reed is not into her. He told her from the very get that she wasn't the one, and now they're engaged. I want to know all of your thoughts and feelings on this engagement. What were your initial reactions, and why do you think people have such an adverse reaction to this pairing?
Right. I'd say, sorry, I have a little bit of a sniffly nose, so please ignore that.
You
But
sound great. And by the way, I love your voice. It's so raspy. I wish I had a voice like
oh my
yours.
God, thank you. I like hated it growing up, but thank you. So first thing I thought when I saw it was like those fuck ass platforms, like they're so tall. Like that's just so influencer. Like they're cute shoes and she looks amazing, but like my eyes go to like those platforms. But now that that's out of the way, I'm happy for her in the way that like when I was, and I'm not much older than her, but like maybe a few years ago, it was probably my dream to have the boy that told me he didn't want me proposed to me. Like I've definitely had that dream before. So
You're like a masochist. What is wrong
right,
with
like
you? What do you mean?
I've grown up now, but like back then, I'm like sure, like I daydream. You know what I mean? You want the guy that tells you like he didn't want you to change his mind, and then now he wants you, and he proposes to you. So like I get the like fantasy of it all, and I get that she really thinks she's in love, and she probably is. But like I understand the commentary from people of being like don't let a man tell you he doesn't want you twice. You know, like he already told you that he didn't see like a future with you, whatever he said all those years ago, and then the like whole embarrassing love triangle with Sophia LaCourte happened. And I just think like would I ever like would I support I would support a friend through anything, but like I would definitely like if she were my close personal friend, like have my reservations about this just because like I don't know, he never seems that happy in her content. But again, that could be like rage baiting. Like she knows that that gets engagement. So like she might, I feel like the acquireds do that too. Especially Danielle, like her boyfriend always looks really annoyed in all the videos. But I'm like, I wonder if that's because she knows like that gets engagement. Like it might be kind of like a bit they're playing into.
That makes so much sense. The rage
right.
baiting. I didn't even think of it. I don't think I would be able to read the comments or handle the heat. Even if we were playing into that stereotype, I would still feel incredibly self-conscious. But I feel like given what we know about him and Sophia LaCourte and that whole drama that happened a couple of years back, it's kind of this something that's been plastered on their forehead, whether they like it or not. It's a scarlet letter. That's what I say, that they've both been kind of wearing. And I feel like in Halley's mind, and if I were in Halley's position, I would be like, listen, like, fuck you guys. Look what all you fuckers are saying about me and my man that doesn't love me. And he's out here engaging to me with this big fat ring that apparently she confirmed that it is not a lab grown ring, but it is in fact natural. And she says it's natural, but why would you care? Both are great options when someone was clapping back on one of her TikToks. But I feel like it's kind of a big fuck you to Halley. But I think regardless, I'm happy for them. I don't follow them too much though, so I could be out of pocket for saying that. Maybe I don't know the lore enough.
I agree. Like I'm happy for them too, because honestly, what it comes down to is like it could have just been, you know, him telling her he didn't see a future with her. all those years ago could have just been like cold feet, nervousness. Like, I don't know how old they were at the time, maybe 23, I would guess, 22,
Super
23.
young, yeah.
That's young. And like, what I feel like personally, like if I were to have gotten into a relationship at that age, the one that seemed serious, I probably would have like been a little bit nervous too. I'm like, even at this age, even at my ripe old age of almost 27, I'd be like, I'm like a teenage adult. Like, I can't do this.
Totally. Child bride.
So yeah, like, please no. So I get that. I think that like most embarrassing part is just like the Sophia LaCourt of it all, which probably just got so blown up because she posted about it. Like, in reality, I don't think it was that big of a deal, but from the public perception, it like obviously is a little embarrassing maybe, but I don't know. I'm happy for them in the sense that like she seems really happy and she got the man. I'm really happy for Reed because she's loaded. So Reed really lucked out. And but overall, like I'm like very critical of influencers. She's one influencer that I like genuinely like. And that doesn't mean she doesn't mess up. Like, she can be really out of touch a lot of times, but like
Sure.
I feel like she speaks out politically, she gives back, she does all the donations, and like she just seems kind of like a nice normal girl beyond like, she's obviously like so wealthy for her age that
Right.
we don't actually have that much in common, but she does a good job at like making it feel like you do have a lot in common with her.
Yeah. And you said a couple things that I want to like double click on because I think it's interesting now with women influencing how they become their counterpart, their male counterpart, assuming a heterosexual relationship.
Yeah.
They could be doing very well for themselves in a corporate job, making and earning a lot of money. But with women, they are becoming the significant breadwinner. Like, yeah, you could be earning, I'm just throwing out numbers, $200,000 at your corporate job, but I'm earning $200,000 with a couple of brand deals. And I found that same commentary when people were saying this about Halley Kate's fiance, about Reed, excuse me, and Halley, he's like marrying the breadwinner with Shannon and Lames. Like, sure, Lames has his business that operates at 6 figures a month. Like, shut the fuck up. You have like 3 clients. Give me a break. But he's always like, I bring in 6 figures a month. I'm a very lucrative business. I don't even know what accent I'm doing. I apologize.
It's
But
perfect.
we as women can it's kind of our turn to shit on the gold diggers that are men. Like,
Yes.
let us have a little fun, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that relationship. I don't know how much Reed earns. I know
Right.
nothing about his finances. I know she's pretty wealthy in her own right. She
Yeah.
just bought her second Hamptons home. But at the same time, it is, whether or not it's true or not, it's kind of fun to just poke at them and be like, they're gold diggers,
Yeah.
because
Right.
fuck the patriarchy. Like, let us earn our own
Yes.
bag and be the breadwinner.
Totally. Yeah. It's about time.
Exactly.
And
And
I would think she
oh,
makes more. Sorry.
no, I agree. Because didn't she just sell her first Hamptons home? And people were saying, I think from like the episode that we did, she didn't really buy it in the Hamptons, whatever you want to call it. She still bought
Right.
a home in that area, which is very difficult to do in your 20s
Yeah.
in the Hamptons greater area. But the fact that she was able to sell that and then purchase another home, I mean, most people cannot do that in their lifetime, let alone when
No.
they're 26 or however
No.
old she is.
Yeah, no, it is really impressive. And yeah, I don't know anything about finance or the salaries or anything like that, but I would assume she's making more, but good for both of them. I mean, I wish maybe if I was an influencer, I'd have a boyfriend. So
It's good for content.
I'm taking notes, Halley.
Yes. Okay, let's move on to the Blake and Taylor text. First of all, you came into our DET document ahead of me, and I was so happy that you wrote about this because you linked for us a Substack where allegedly all of the like discovery documents of the text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift are published. I have not fact checked these, but I have seen tidbits of these text messages on real publications. And what you guys have probably seen is Taylor bringing up Justin Baldoni's tiny violin or bring your tiny violin to a knife fight. Baby, that all ends tonight.
Oh,
me
so
and
good.
me and Rachel are huge
Yeah.
Swifties, but
So
we've heard of all of like those messages. But I want you to tell us about Blake Lively allegedly telling Taylor Swift how pissed she was that when they all had their altercation at Blake Lively's New York City apartment, Justin Baldoni, I guess, allegedly made a comment to Taylor about pop culture. Can you speak to this part of the text messages?
yes, yes. So I read through all of these and like I'm reading through and like a lot of it isn't making sense to me because I'm like, when were these? But the one that stood out to me is when Justin Baldoni said something to Taylor Swift to the extent of like, oh, well, like I don't really know pop culture, like just like douchebag. Like, yeah, first of all, you can't not know Taylor Swift in 2026, 2025, whenever these texts were in any year in the past, like since the Eras tour launched, even before that. But like, if you
Correct.
know, you can't not know her. So like, I think he said it in the way, and this is how Blake was making it sound, to be a jab at like, oh, I'm just not really like, I'm just too good, like I'm too highbrow for that. And what Blake was saying is like he paints himself as this like guy against like the patriarchy, and he is disassembling toxic masculinity and doing
Yes.
all these TED talks on it, and he's profiting off of this when like he really just wants to tear women down, but in like very subtle ways. And I see this in like so many men that like if you were to call him out, he'd be like, "You're crazy." Like he would not. It's in these really really subtle micro ways that he's like tearing women down. And Blake says like he wouldn't say that to Steven Spielberg even if he didn't watch any of his movies. He'd be like, "Oh my god, your work is so good." um what's any different than Taylor Swift? Well,
Yes, wow, I exactly well put. And I think that when I was reading this headline about him making this jab about not knowing pop culture on like TMZ when they first reported it, when you just read a headline, this really made me rethink like, okay, you shouldn't just read a headline. Please read like the whole context because
right.
it actually is very important when I read the entire text thread. But you could tell Blake Lively, I feel like deservedly was a little bit fired up about that because it's almost a way I'm trying to think about how people, when you are really successful, not that I'm really successful, but when people are intimidated by your success, they will say something that is not blatantly rude or threatening, but they'll say something very, very subtle to where you have to rethink it. And I think for him to flat out say, these text messages were from the years between 2023 and 2024 at the height of the era. So she was
Yeah.
never more relevant than this. For him to say that, well, I don't really follow pop culture. Well, you're basically saying you don't follow Taylor Swift then, because Taylor Swift equals pop
Yes.
culture. And I have to admit, when I was reading the text messages, I could feel. I think I'm like very delicate when I say this because people have given a lot of criticism in the last couple of years because of this. But some people were saying, she sued Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment. There was nary a sexual harassment claim, and at least the text messages I read that she blatantly made about his sexual harassment to at least Taylor Swift on this thread of text messages. But you could tell she hated this guy. Blake
Yeah.
hated Justin Baldoni. He gave her the creeps. She was vastly uncomfortable with him. And actually, no, I take that back. Blake Lively did say something to the effect, and I apologize, I don't have the receipts right in front of me, but she said something to the effect to Taylor that she sent a screenshot, or Taylor sent a screenshot of Justin Baldoni saying that he was sexually harassed, or forced to be intimate with one of his ex girlfriends when he didn't want to. And they were kind of saying, well, that's not really fair because you told me, Justin, that you've had sex with women without their consent. So actually, I take what I just said back. Blake did allude to that comment made by Justin to her when her driver, Blake's driver, told her, "I don't want you to be alone in that room with that guy ever again. He gives me the creeps." I think that is something that definitely did happen, but I definitely felt a lot more empathy reading these text messages because it was clear Blake was incredibly uncomfortable with him and just got a really, really bad feeling. And it
Yeah.
seems, based on these receipts, that Colleen Hoover as well did not enjoy working with Justin.
Yes.
And obviously, this will all unfold in court. I don't know enough to even like speak on this ad
Same.
nauseum, but I will say it was very illuminating to me to see Blake as uncomfortable as she was.
Me too. It was interesting to see like the dynamics of their texts and just like how they text. It's just like something you don't often see from celebrities. So that was interesting. And I think it puts into light. And again, I don't know nearly enough about this to like you said, to speak on it like as a whole. But like following this from, how long it's been going on, like I
Yeah,
feel
a
like
year
we're
and a
just pulled
half at this point.
crazy. Like we're just
Feels.
pulled like to one side and then the other. And it's all based on like what is being published and who's like publicists are doing what. And that's just like the hard part is like we're all just like, you know, we're not immune to like the I don't know the right word, but the manipulation of the media, I
No,
guess.
100%. It's like propaganda from both sides. And I think it's
Yeah.
difficult because I think genuinely the truth kind of lives somewhere in the middle. I don't doubt
Yeah.
Blake's claims, and I also don't doubt Baldoni's
Right.
claims. It seems like they fucking hated each other
Yeah.
and they're like pining through every receipt to make sure, oh, and add this to the claim, add this to the claim.
Right.
So, and I know Sophie and I did an episode about this at the height of when this was happening. I think this was back in maybe like early
Yeah.
Q1 of 2025 or like early Q2. I can't really remember. But I will say this was also an interesting tidbit of the text messages when Blake wrote to Taylor on May 19th, 2024 about her screening of It Ends With Us. Because remember, her and
Yeah.
Baldoni had two separate screenings and edits and cuts, and they tested both out. And even though Justin Baldoni's allegedly got a more favorable satisfaction rate by the audience, Blake's cut was still used in the general public. But Blake writes, May 19th, 2024, Bradley came, he watched it twice. He has been an absolute fucking hero. Bradley, as in Bradley Cooper. She goes on to say, he has made me feel so good about the cut. Matt and Lucy Damon saw it to give notes and instead just wrote Tom Rothman to try to push my edit through without a bake-off with Justin, which is also what Colleen is pushing for. Colleen Hoover meeting the author. It's wild and crazy times, which is like so crazy that we're now seeing in these receipts that Blake was using her connections and her network, these A-list
Yeah.
stars like Bradley Cooper and Matt Damon to vouch for her edit, regardless of whether her edit was the correct one. Like, it's crazy to
Yeah.
see this actually being validated after all these
Yeah.
allegations.
It is. It is.
And I think the craziest thing for me, and I don't know how you felt about this, in April of 2024. So this was, I'm just reading my notes. Yes, so Blake writes this to Taylor. Okay, I'll do Blake. Okay, and then you do Taylor. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, Blake writes to Taylor, Hey, I'm just checking in. I have no reason to ask, but I don't know. I've been feeling like I should. Is everything okay? I felt like a bad friend lately because I was such a sad sack who only talked about my own shit for months. You were generous to not only be the key person there for me during all of it, but also let me off the hook for being so in it. But I still have a feeling something may or may not be right. I told Ryan, he said to just ask you, but I felt so stupid and like it sounded needy and awkward for everyone, especially because I cannot explain why I have this feeling. And you know I have toxic masculinity, so I cannot be needy. But also, I do want to know everything is good, so I am asking. I always want the opportunity to be a better friend if there's something I unintentionally did. I know how busy and taxed you are, physically, emotionally, practically, so I do not expect any more from you ever. I just want to make sure all is good. Heart, heart, heart. So Blake sent this at 8:14 p.m. and
Yeah.
then Taylor responds at 9:42 p.m. So like a little over an
Yes.
hour. How did she respond?
She says, No, you're not wrong, but it's also not a big deal. I think I'm just exhausted in every avenue of my life in recent months and have been feeling a little bit of a shift in the way you talk to me. There's been a lot of the Justin stuff, but I've been through things like this before and I know how all consuming it is. It's more like, and I feel really bad saying anything about it, saying anything about this because your texts have been so nice in their intent, but your last few, it's felt like I was reading a mass corporate email sent to 200 employees. You said the word we like 18 times, and it feels awful to be in any way critical of any way you process what you've been going through. But I just kind of miss my funny, dark, normal speaking friend who talks to me as herself, not like a plural unit when it's a group I'm hearing from. I feel distance from you more than I feel distance from you even more than we are geographically, then it's redacted. And I know you feel attacked from all sides for ridiculous reasons. So you're feeling like you have to overly explain things or be overly nice or whatever. But it's me. That's just caused a little distance and then a little more redacted. And you don't need to apologize. Just come back, please. Yeah, that's so
I
me and my friends.
Yes, no, 1,000,000%. It's so weird to see these two celebrities as big as they are and seeing their text receipt. First of all, this is a very normal conversation between two
Yeah,
friends. I was actually astonished in a way of like stars are just like us. For
right.
some reason, when you and I and everyone else think of Taylor Swift, she's like this other godly person
Yes.
who doesn't have feelings, who doesn't go to the bathroom, who never gets
Yeah,
sick, who doesn't feel. She just is this like circus monkey when in
yeah,
fact she is a normal person with normal friendships, normal
right.
relationships, hard days, uh, her body aches. And it's just weird to see a
Yeah,
person like Blake Lively confronting her very, very good friend Taylor and asking, Are you mad at me? And Taylor being like, Kind of, yeah, you've been kind of
yeah,
fucking crazy.
yeah. But like being so honest about it. I mean, as someone like I wake up with anxiety, I'm anxiously attached. I'm like, this is like they're speaking my language. I'm always like, was I weird? Are you mad at me?
Me
Like,
too.
you know, it's always a good feeling when someone's like, no, but it's even better when someone is just like honest with you if there is something wrong. Like, obviously not in a way that's like fuck you, but like in a way that's like, yeah, like, why are you talking to me? Like, I'm not your friend. And, you know, I know that you've been through a lot, but like I'm still me and I just like want my normal friend back. So
Yes.
yeah,
It was
I
so
get it.
relatable. And I was just like, wow, they're just like us. And I have to ask you as well, because I know you are as equally of a big fan of Taylor as I am. Do you think, now that we know this tiny violin reference where canceled on the
Yeah.
life of a showgirl is clearly about Blake, that this tells me it is,
Yes.
are they friends, do you think? Because I don't, they have not been spotted together in like over a year at
So
this point,
long.
I think.
I like I want to say yes because like I mean again these texts were so long ago. Like what was this April 2024? So it's like if this like, they're being mature about it and they can resolve it like this and like no one's like throwing out insults, like I'd like to think they're still friends. I feel like Taylor's really like just because she's been scorned so many times by the media, like I feel like anytime that there's like controversy, her and her team, they dip out. Like, so I think like maybe behind closed doors they're still friends, but like I don't think we'll see her spotted with Blake for a long time, until
Yeah,
this is all cleared up. I mean, Taylor's just like feel like gone through so many things herself that like she just doesn't want to be attached to that. But what do
you're
you
right.
think?
Yeah, I actually think you're pretty spot on. Now that you say it like that, I can't help but think of Kylie and Jordan Woods when the Tristan Thompson
Yeah.
thing happened. And fast forward 5 years later, and Kylie and Jordan are out at Sushi Park. They're hanging out, they're
Mhm.
taking pics together, they're close. And then we find out Kylie admits, she's like, listen, we've been friends for years. We just didn't show it to you
Yeah.
guys. But just because we're out at Sushi Park doesn't mean this is the first time we're reconciling. Like, we've been
Right.
hanging for a
Yeah.
very long time. You guys just don't know. So I do think it's probably something to that effect. I think in Taylor's case, she has such a veneered, glossy image that
Yeah.
to tarnish it right now at the biggest part of her career, I think she has to be honest with Blake and just be like, listen, I love you. You have to understand I can't be seen with you right now, correct? And I
Right.
think that's the conversations that they're having. But
Yeah.
you're probably right. I feel like Taylor, out of anyone, would know how difficult it is to be in Blake's
Yeah.
position. Taylor filed her own sexual harassment claim against that weird DJ that touched her butt at
Yeah.
that meet and greet. So I think that's what Taylor was alluding to when she says, I've been in your position and I know how taxing these situations
Yeah.
are. So I do think they likely are friends, but it's just we won't know about it. And if they will be seen, it's going to be like 2030 or something.
Yeah, no, like it'll be a while. I feel it, yeah. But I mean, anything Taylor could be spotted wherever doing whatever, and I love her. So
Yeah, something about Rachel and I is we're incredibly biased. So if you
yeah,
hate
like
this take, just know it's
yeah,
because we're obsessed with Taylor and we don't take it
yeah,
back.
yeah. No, like it's never gonna change. So
This episode is brought to you by Wild Grain. Who doesn't love carbs? We do here at Snark Bait, obviously. And Wild Grain is the first bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh pastas. All items conveniently bake in 25 minutes or less because we're busy running a business that we're passionate about. Unlike many store bought options, Wild Grain uses simple ingredients you can actually pronounce, no preservatives, and no shortcuts. Wild Grain's boxes are fully customizable. In addition to their variety box, they have a gluten free box, vegan box, and a new protein box. From frozen chocolate croissants and chocolate chip cookie dough that was so easy to bake and truly so freaking delicious, you guys. Literally, you just freeze them, then bake them, to incredible fresh sourdough, rosemary focaccia that we buttered right up with artisanal butter that they sent with it too. There's truly nothing cozier than something freshly baked, and Wild Grain makes it truly so easy. Fresh sourdough toast with artisanal butter is the definition of a light energy object. There's nothing like having an artisan bakery in your freezer to chase away the winter chill. Now is the best time to stay in and enjoy comforting homemade meals with Wild Grain. I highly recommend giving Wild Grain a try. Right now, Wild Grain is offering our listeners $30 off your first box, plus free croissants for life when you go to wildgrain.com/snark to start your subscription today. That's $30 off your first box and free croissants for life when you visit wildgrain.com/snark, or you can use our promo code SNARK at checkout. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the Nick and Natalie new show trailer. I cannot fucking believe that they're airing this. First of all, Natalie Joy has the worst fucking PR right now after the
I
Austin
know.
Kroll. So, like, what was this cliff? You
It's
fucking moron, unempathetic,
it's
mean
insane.
girl.
Yeah,
Stop. But the fact that they showed her on the Netflix trailer of like, what's your age again, or
really
whatever this
interesting.
weird age difference dating relationship show is going to take us, why do you think they showed her but not Nick? If anything, I feel like they should have done the opposite. Do not show Natalie, but you can show
Yes.
Nick. First of all, why do you think that is? And second, what did you make of this trailer that just dropped?
I honestly have no idea why they choose to show Natalie. Like that makes no sense to me. Like she's never I don't watch the Viall files, but like she's from my knowledge never shown any like good hosting or interviewing skills. So
Never.
it's not like she's a talent. Like she's pretty, I guess, but like I don't really think that that's necessary. Yeah, I mean Nick's like boring, but like I feel like it was a really weird choice to not show him, especially with all of her bad PR. I am like known for like just liking bad shows. Like I'll like watch a show and I'm like, this is amazing.
You and
And then
me.
yeah, then
You
I
and
go on
me.
Reddit and everyone's like, this is a piece of trash. I'm like, oh,
No, all her fault. Justice for all her fault on Peacock. Did you watch that?
I did watch All Her Fault. Yeah, it was so good.
Literally, I was like, "That's an Emmy-worthy show." Everyone's like, "What
Yeah,
are you fucking joking me?" Like, that was so soapy. I'm
so
like,
good.
I loved it. I finished it in 2 days.
I'm like easily pleased. Same. I watched it so
No,
quickly. I'm like, that was amazing.
one of the best shows of the year. Dare I?
Yeah.
Don't
No,
fucking
like
come for me, baby snark.
goes down in
Don't come for
history.
me. And I thought the Beast in me just okay. Don't come for me. I'm sorry.
I didn't finish it.
See,
I got
and
like a few episodes and I was like,
that's because we have taste. All
I
her
know, I
fault.
agree.
I assure you, you will finish it in a sitting. But
It's so
continue. I'm
good.
sorry. You and I are
No,
the same.
same.
Yeah,
No, literally. But yeah, I probably will watch it.
me too.
What I think is interesting about the show, and like obviously we're only getting a glimpse from like the trailer, is that they're showing these people, and like, yes, I guess I kind of have a hard time guessing what their ages are. So they probably picked people that are like kind of like ambiguous in like what age they are. But like I like in normal life, I feel like I can tell the bracket of someone's age. Like if I'm at a bar, I'm like, I know when someone's 21 or I know when someone's like in their 40s. So I'm just curious as to how this will work. Like, will it actually be difficult for them to guess? And the one woman in the trailer that like was she was like, oh, I would set him up with one of my daughters. Like, I guess I can't really figure out how old she is. But I was looking at like someone like Nick Viall, like he's not a spring chicken anymore. Like you look
Yeah.
45. So like I just don't I don't know. It's a weird
How old is
concept.
he? I don't even know.
45. I looked it up.
Oh,
But I did know he was in his 40s.
God, I fucking hate
um
him.
yeah, me too. But yeah, I'm curious as to what you thought. I mean, we barely have anything to go off of. The trailer is so short, but
Yeah, and the trailer really just focused on this young, sprightly
yeah.
looking guy. I assume maybe he was in his late 20s. The woman looked maybe late 40s, but they seem to be getting on just great. And of course, the second I think Sophie sent it in our group chat, I was like, "Yep, gonna be watching this. This looks
Yep.
incredible." Even though
Yep.
I hate Nick
I'll tune
Viall
in.
and Natalie, I'm like, me and Rachel will report back.
Yeah.
And dare I say, we can even have a Patreon like live chat. Oh, by the way, that's another housekeeping thing I forgot to talk about up front. Tonight we're doing a summer house live chat for our business runner tier only. We're watching Summer House live and in color, and we're going to be live chatting the entire way through. We did this last year for the season 9 premiere, and that was one of my favorite live chats. I know you're not a Bravo person, but I implore you to watch.
I will totally tune in.
Yeah,
I will join. Yeah. No, I gotta start somewhere. So
yeah, and I think Summer House is an easy lift, but
right.
no, I think that the Natalie and Nick show, unfortunately, Rachel and I will likely be watching this, and we can
Yes.
report back and we can watch it for you so that you don't have to give them the downloads because we don't
Yep.
want them to have any more cash in their pocket.
No.
But unfortunately, my morals will have to be what's the word?
Set
Not sub.
aside.
Yeah, set aside. Like my morals will need to
Yeah.
be set aside because I love trashy TV, and
Me
it's so
too.
funny. Sometimes I'll see these comments of people being like, God, I kind of like that show that Christy was talking about too. Like, do I have bad taste? And let me assure you, don't let
Yeah.
Sophie shame you into thinking you have bad taste. I think we have eclectic, fabulous taste.
We welcome you with open arms.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Sydney Sweeney's lingerie brand. I have no idea what she's doing. Rachel,
I know.
what is going on? Okay, when you first saw this, because I believe the campaign dropped by the time this airs, like 5 or 6 days ago, and we all knew she was hanging around Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, and she was allegedly starting a line with Amazon for her own lingerie brand. What is it called? Siren?
Yes, but it looks like CERN. So
CERN.
so either
Okay.
goes. But yes, it's
CERN.
supposed to be Siren, but CERN.
Got it. Okay, so we knew this was coming, and I
Yeah.
think last week, TMZ reported that she trespassed, climbed her way up the Hollywood Hills, up to the Hollywood sign, and was throwing bras onto the sign. That is trespassing. People were saying she could face charges for trespassing, et
Yikes.
cetera, et cetera. And then the day that that TMZ article came out, the debut shots of her with her campaign were coming up, and I was like, these photos, like, I guess sex sells, so it'll probably do what I'm assuming to be well. Like I
Right.
feel like she would appeal to a lot of maybe Midwestern older millennial women that want, I
Right.
don't know. But what did you make of these photos of her campaign photo shoot?
It's like it's just kind of jarring. And someone said this on Reddit. It was the Reddit user zealous ideal dash meet 885. The marketing being sexy and playful while the brand identity gives pressed juice bar is funny to me. And that's what it is. Because why do we have this fuck ass lime green bubble lettering and then Sydney Sweeney like pushed up against a vanity? Like I don't like really get what it's trying to like say with that. Like it's interesting and I saw I think it was Tana Mojo that was talking about it on TikTok and she's like market to men market to men like because like I don't really understand like the like sorry my lip gloss
Mhm.
I don't really understand the point in her marketing to women because like I just don't think that's like she has a lot of like female fans at the moment like I don't like with everything that's come out like I just feel like go do like something for the guys I guess because I don't think this is
Yeah.
going to be a great business venture like I'm not going to buy any of the lingerie um but if it was someone like I mean, I'd sooner do like if Amanda Seyfried wants to come out with a line, I'm there. I'm
Oh,
first in line.
totally.
I'm first in line. I love
No,
her.
you know what?
But
Actually, I'm glad you bring up Amanda Seyfried because I talked about how she was the one that plugged the Bronzing Glow that is in our Substack. But my sister has actually met her because Audrey was listening to our episode and she's like, I met her one time at a coffee shop and she did a movie, I think, with Channing Tatum. It was like way back in the day, 2010 or something. Maybe it was that movie, whatever. She was a guitarist and a singer, and Audrey learned like the strings of the guitar from the song. And she approached Amanda at this coffee shop, and she goes, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm a huge fan, and you actually like your guitar song that you played. I like taught myself, and I play it all the time." And she was like genuinely so thrilled that my sister one approached her and two told her that she inspired like her learning these chords on the
that's so
guitar.
sweet.
She said she was just like so sweet, so small, and just had like very good energy about her. And I feel like if I were to run into Amanda Seyfried, she would just be like a delight and so normal. Doesn't she appear so
Yes.
normal to you?
Yes. Like I just feel like she is the epitome of someone that's just like stayed grounded. And again, this is so parasocial because I don't know her, but like she has just seemed so normal. And I could be wrong, but I think she's from Pennsylvania or her family is because like I remember like I had like a friend whose mom's coworker like was related to her or something. But
Yeah,
like I love my girls with Pennsylvania roots, Taylor
love that.
Swift included. But yeah, she's always just seemed really like sweet and normal. And she's just so talented. And you
So
can really see that in
talented.
the housemaid because like Sydney Sweeney's not as talented.
Yeah, how was it? Because
So
I know you watched it in theaters.
yes,
So was Sydney Sweeney's performance just kind of a dud? Because it sucks. I really liked her in
yes.
Handmaid's Tale and Euphoria, but what was her performance like in that movie?
I will say for the character of Millie, because I read all the books, and she is more dynamic in the books, but I would say like the movie is based on the first book, and I don't think she had to be any better than what she was. But Nina, who Amanda played, is a way more complex character. So like you needed someone that could like really do the range of that. So like
Mm.
Sydney was fine in the movie. Like it didn't her acting didn't like completely take me out of it. I do feel like there were better options. Like maybe like Victoria Pedretti would have been a great option as
Mhm.
Millie. I just love her. So I'm like, put her in anything, put her in anything. I think there would have been better options, but it wasn't awful. Like it was
Yeah.
I enjoyed the movie, but like that kind of movie is like my bread and butter. So
Yeah, I have not seen it, but I was really excited to see it, so I'll probably just wait for it to come to
yes,
streaming. But at least, like you said here in your notes, the sizing is 30B to 42 triple
yep,
D. So at least we love that the sizing is incredibly inclusive. But I can't help but wonder, is she rage baiting at this point? Is this part of
I
the
know.
shtick? Because everything about her just brings really, really strong feelings. Whether you're a guy who thinks she's super hot and anything she posts that you'll like it on Instagram, or you're a woman who's outraged by like the hypersexuality. It kind of almost reminds me of the reactions women had, not men, women had to Britney Spears when we were kids. When Britney Spears
Yeah.
did the Slave for You music video, and everyone was like, how could she be like talking
Right.
about sex, being a sex slave, being in this like hot warehouse rave in Thailand, like shaking her
Right.
ass, whatever, her boob implants. People were so viscerally like disgusted with Britney Spears. And that was the early 2000s, late 90s. But I feel like with Sydney Sweeney, it's like that, but a different font almost.
Yeah.
And I'm not even claiming that they're necessarily, well, I guess they are kind of the same. I guess maybe Sydney Sweeney just knows what brings in money and she's leaning into
Yeah.
her very like well endowed chest and her body and her
Yep.
appearance because she's like the hottest girl on the planet and maybe
Yep.
she just is doing it for cash. But
Right.
I don't understand her, just what her angle is between the
Yeah.
politic thing and
Yeah.
people accusing her of being a Trump supporter, which again, it's like you can be a Trump supporter and also not racist, but I mean that's a whole other topic. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what direction she's going in.
Right. I think that's a great comparison that I had never thought of was her and Britney Spears because you think back and like so like for me it poses the question 10, 15, 20 years from now will we look back at this and like celebrate Sydney? And I know that sounds weird, not for the politics stuff, but like for the like sexualized stuff because
Yes.
we look back at that like that news cast where they were like if you seek Amy, like don't let your kids listen to this. It's not what you think it is. And we're all like, yes, Brittany, like, we look back
Yes.
at it in such a different light. So that's so interesting. Like, will we look back at this and be like, yes, Sydney, like sell that bathwater and like make that
Right.
money? Which I'm not saying she can't now. Like, I'm not saying that like I'm like, oh, how could she do that? Like, by no means. Like, make your bread, like, get your
Right.
bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like overall the public consensus is very negative towards Sydney at the moment,
Yes.
especially as she's doing all of these business ventures. And it was towards Britney at the time, but like
Right.
public opinion shifts. So that's
Right.
interesting.
And nostalgia and hindsight is 2020. And I think
Yeah,
maybe the difference, and I was much obviously like young when Brittany was receiving all that criticism, but I do feel
right.
the political climate is very different now. So
Yeah,
people are already enraged um, by what's happening in our administration. And they feel like
yeah,
artists, which actually, interestingly enough, I came across this quote that she said in the Cosmopolitan article, which is where she is in that pink getup and she's pushing up her boobs. She said, quote, no, I'm not a political person. I'm in the arts. I'm not here to speak on politics. That's not an area I've ever imagined getting into. It's not why I became who I am. I became an actor because I like to tell stories, but I don't believe in hate in any form. I believe we should allow each other and respect. We should all love each other and have respect and understanding for one another. So I think maybe her constantly skirting away from her
yeah,
political affiliation, coupled with the fact that she's leaning in so much to her sexuality,
right,
I think enrages people in such
right,
a way that it didn't necessarily with Britney. But again, we could be saying something completely different in
right.
2040.
Also, like, baby, like art is political. like,
It is.
like, like I saw that quote and I'm like, I get what she's trying to say. Is she's like trying to like, it's the PR response. Like, I'm not political. I'm just here to like make art and act. But like, art's a reflection of the world that we live in. So like, therefore, it is kind of political when you think
Inherently
about
is.
it.
Whether you like it or not, it
right?
is inherently
Like, sure, Sydney,
political.
sure.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, she kind of put that, whether she intended to do so or not, with the Make America Great Again adjacent
yeah,
mother's 60th birthday party, milestone birthday party.
right.
She kind of, unfortunately for herself, put herself in this position where people can't unsee it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've never unseen it since then. And I
Mm-mm.
like when she first, I never watched Handmaid's Tale, which I really should because everyone tells me I would like it.
So good.
Um,
It's so
Euphoria, I
good.
was like such a Cassie apologist. I was like, I love
Me too.
Sydney, I love Cassie. Like, I was just really into it. And then like you're losing me.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, Kartik removed
no,
that.
totally
I'm
fine.
just I'm just coughing. Okay. So I agree. I'm actually really curious to see the baby Snark's opinion on Sydney because she's incredibly divisive. And if she makes you tick, I'm curious, like what exactly is making you tick? Is it her lack of speaking out against the administration? Like what about it? Because I'm genuinely
Yeah.
curious to hear from you guys. Let us know in the Instagram comments at Snark Bait Pod or on the Spotify comments. So the last thing I want to talk about, actually no, last two things. The first thing, Tinx's boob job. So she has been posting a lot about the fact that she has decided to get her breasts augmented. And I just have to say this. I think the reason I really loved following Tinx in 2020, like so many like millennial women did, especially in the pandemic, she was doing like the hot mom, whatever, what was she? Silicon Valley hot mom or hot mom walks or whatever. She created such a niche type of content that a lot of people were not doing at the time. She was kind of the founder, the mother of TikTok. And I find that her content, and granted, I don't consistently follow her, so this is just my reaction to things I've just seen that have popped up on my page. It seems through just looking at her Instagram, it seems very body checky to me. In fact, everyone knows that I've had like a history with eating disorders and like so for to me, I'm very much past that. But I think watching someone body check in the way that she does, it's not that I'm necessarily triggered by it. It's more so I feel deeply sad for a person who, I mean, Tinx and I are about the same age. She's a little bit older than me, but at our big age, it just makes me sad that people that are so beautiful and so accomplished and so successful that have so many like accolades under their belt, Forbes 30 under 30, two-time best-selling author, huge Instagram presence, TikTok, your name is everywhere, that you're still so focused on your body. Like it just actually makes me sad. And I think people are criticizing her for wanting a boob job. I don't care. Get your boob job, feel great about yourself. I think it's less so about the boob job and more about feeling like her whole brand is just body checking and like checking
Yeah.
herself out through her weight loss or her thinness and whether or not she's on Ozempic or not, whatever, it's your choice. But I just like don't like watching her because it actually makes me sad. And I know
Yeah.
that's like could be a sensitive topic for some people, but I know she triggers people and rubs people the wrong way for maybe different reasons, but I think this is why I can't necessarily like I don't love watching her stuff because I'm just like you were just going through a journey that I've gone through that is like deeply sad to me.
Yeah.
And this is me projecting. Like this could not be her experience at all. This is fully my own projections based on my own lived experiences. If she's happy, I'm so happy for her. But it's more so just God, just you were a brilliant, cool woman. You don't need to be like doing this. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I'm not someone that really followed Tinx, and I like even from the start, like obviously I know who she is. I listened to your our deep dive on it, like
Hmm.
whenever that was a while ago. But it like it, your body, her body is the least interesting thing about her. Like she's an incredibly successful creator, like especially like, she started in 2020, like you said, or maybe even earlier. Like she's
Yeah,
one of the OGs. And to me, it kind of seems like, and this is completely speculation, but like
sure.
once she achieved all of those amazing accolades, like I guess maybe you just like start like wanting more and more, like like
Yeah.
it's like she's already so impressive and like and achieved all these feats, like then maybe now she's like, well, maybe I could fix this about myself, or fix this, and I say fix in quotations because there's nothing to fix,
Right.
but
Right.
um yeah, I don't know, it is really sad, but I've never really followed her too closely, so I
Yeah.
guess I don't know like the difference in like how her content has shifted.
Right. And that's a good point because I don't know her content well enough to know whether or not it's like been
Right.
a significant shift. But every time I go on her page, it's like her body checking. And if you guys aren't
Yeah.
familiar with body checking, like when I was in a treatment center, you were heavily discouraged from even looking at yourself in mirrors. Definitely don't take pictures of yourself, and if you can potentially have this self-control to avoid it, do not look at yourself in the mirror because your body, excuse me, your eyes are seeing things that aren't necessarily true, or the way that your
Yeah.
body looks in one room where the lighting is different will look significantly different in another room. And like that I know for fact,
Mhm.
having been in recovery for a very long time. Like you cannot trust what the picture of the mirror is telling you or what your
Yeah,
camera
no.
phone is telling you. Like genuinely you cannot. But every time I go on it, it's like Jesus Christ, just stop. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I genuinely mean this with the utmost care. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm being mean. It's just, again, at our big age, let's just like focus on like what you've
Right.
accomplished, which is a badass. Last thing I want to touch on before we get into our DEOs and LEOs is the AMTM, America's Next Top Model documentary. Beautiful
Beautiful
girl.
girl.
But wait, is she a model? You guys know we're like an ANTM coded podcast. What were
Yep.
your thoughts, Rachel? Like, first, what did ANTM mean to you growing up? And what were your thoughts when you saw this dog come out?
Everything. I loved it. It was Survivor and ANTM. Like I was like, I can do both. First of all, but I was obsessed. Like I remember like finding it, sometime in my young age and being like, this is everything. And I went back and I rewatched all the cycles, and it was so much fun, like helping out with research for the ANTM episode because it like brought back so many memories. Because I rewatched it during COVID. It was like my COVID show. And
Where's
that
it
kind of like,
streaming? Is it?
I don't know where it is now because that was like
Yeah.
in 2020 I watched it, and
Yeah.
probably on Hulu I think I watched it. But
Yeah.
it's a good rewatch. I mean, obviously there's so many cringy moments, and speaking of, they show like they touch on a few of them in the trailer, like obviously so briefly. I feel like the big ones like race swapping photo shoots,
That one
making
never fails to make me laugh. It's
never
so
fails. Like
unhinged.
and like I mean, it was like it's just so wild that like no one stopped it. I mean, like I would like one thing Tyra says in the doc, and I wrote this down. She says something like, "We knew it was too far, but the fans just kept pushing and pushing." I was 8, like I didn't know.
What fan was pushing? We're 8.
I didn't even know anything about anything. Like I was just enjoying the photo shoots, the challenges. Like, so Tyra, that's on you and your whole
Yeah.
team. Not
Don't
on
gaslight
us.
us into thinking
Yeah.
we were asking you to race swap. Okay.
Yeah, like,
Give
I
me a
never
fucking
asked for
break.
that.
We did
Insane. I didn't like force Danielle to undergo surgery to close her gap. Like that was you. So it seems like they're touching on a lot of those things, but I'm curious if they're gonna kind of like give excuses or like what the whole
Yeah.
deal is gonna be there. Like will it really be accountability, or is this kind of like PR, like let's just make everything like put a good taste in people's mouths for ANTM for the rest of history or whatever.
Yeah, it truly was such an iconic show. When I was in high school, I would go to my friends' houses and we would watch, like have live watch viewing parties.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this one season really sticks out at me. And I'm curious if you watched the season where Whitney, and I'm putting this in air quotes, the plus size
Yeah.
model who was like,
Yep.
who was like totally normal.
Not plus size. Yeah.
Like literally such a normal,
Yep.
beautiful body. I mean, not that big bodies are, like, you know what I mean? Just like a
Yes.
normal,
Just simply not plus
beautiful
size.
body.
Yeah.
Simply not.
Like you can't gaslight me into that one,
You're so,
Tyra.
I was like, she's a normal, beautiful, just simply not plus size. Like, just yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'm not saying all bodies are normal. Sorry, I didn't
Right.
mean it like that. Just like
No,
you're
no.
right. Just she was not plus size. Period.
Right.
And for some reason, I just think back to that season. That one sticks to me. I think probably because I developed an eating disorder when I was in high school. But I'm like, wow, the fact that I thought that was plus size. I mean, we were fucked up
Right.
as a society in general, man. But
Right.
it's funny because when this documentary dropped on Netflix, we have never received so many DMs.
I'm so glad. We should do like a live something live for it.
Yes,
Like
I think we
some
got to do
kind
a
of live
live
chat.
live watch on Patreon when
Yeah.
it airs because I think this would be so funny to watch. And every time we
I
think about
agree.
the race swapping episode, I think about the Survivor episode when Sophie said that they divided
Yep. Cook Islands.
they divided the teams by race.
Like why? Like all of these decisions have to go through so many people.
Like what? Wasn't that like it was like 2019 when that happened? I actually don't know. I made that up. I don't know what year.
It was a lot earlier because it would have been probably, and I might be wrong. It was like early 2000s,
Okay.
like maybe like, it was season 13, so maybe like 2007
Yeah, it was
around
like
there.
it was just such a normal thing. We just didn't even bat an eye.
Nope.
It's God, yeah, that's so funny.
Insane. Yeah.
Remember when they race swapped? Like, what is that?
They
Like,
were just doing anything. Like they
what
just
is
whatever they
that?
wanted. Yeah. It's
That will never
insane.
not be funny to me. Okay, let's get into our DEOs and LEOs of the week. Okay, I'll start with mine. My dark energy object of the week is getting sushi and ordering too much and then putting it in the fridge and acting like you're gonna fucking eat it the next day.
I
You
know
will
it's never good.
never eat it the next day. Stop kidding yourself. Just buy what you know you can consume within that next 2 hours of you eating. Otherwise, it's gonna go to waste. Like it sucks because sushi is so good and it's so damn expensive, but it's good for 2 hours only.
Yep.
So
The
that's
fridge
mine.
is where it goes to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
Who are we
it's completely
kidding when we
true.
put it in
Yeah.
there?
No one. Yeah, I never touch it. I completely agree with that. Um, my dark energy object is dating apps. Because truly, like, that TikTok sound, I think I'm gonna die in this house because I when I first downloaded, and it made me think about it during the Whitney Wolf Herd episode, when I first downloaded Tinder in college, freshman year, it felt
Yes.
like a whole new world of
Oh,
opportunity. Like it felt a little taboo. I was like, this,
yep.
ooh, like, oh my gosh, I
New
can't believe I'm
stratosphere.
doing this.
Yeah.
Like, but I just get to swipe through guys and decide if I like them or not. The novelty is worn off.
Oh,
I'm over it. It's been a lot of years. I didn't know it was like a permanent thing for me to be on dating apps on and off. So I'm ready to be off of them, but like there's just no other way to meet anyone. So
no. No one talks to each other anymore.
No, no, no. Everyone's on their phone at the bar, including me, because I'm
Yes.
always on my phone.
Yes,
But
we're at the bar on the app, hoping that the guy we see on the app is in front of us at the bar.
yeah, no,
Or
like
like,
that's yeah,
you know?
or will meet up with us. But
Yes. Yes, so
and
bad.
even he's like you're even settling for him. Like he's like a 6 out of 10, but it's just the only person. So well, thank you. But dating apps, yeah, they're really fucking bleak these days.
Yeah.
So
It's really bad. I just like every time I open it, I'm like, I'll open it for 2 seconds and I'm like, oh my God, I can't do it anymore.
yeah, no, no, like
It's too much. Okay. My two light energy objects. Okay, this is more like health and wellness focused because behind the scenes, it has just been I've just been grappling a lot with anxiety and stress. And although I don't show it on the podcast, it's just been like a rough month for me. And I do think there are two things that have been helping me start my day. First, I just naturally wake up really early, usually for the podcast, but I want to make sure that when I wake up early, I do two things. And this is, have you seen those TikTok? Like I'm now Chinese, like those TikToks of people doing Chinese trends.
no, I
Okay,
haven't.
this is literally just my algorithm. Probably because I am in fact ethnically Chinese, but you know that womanji shang tu. Oh my,
You need to send me these.
oh my God, sorry. This is like so niche. Okay, but basically, it's like usually it's so funny. It'll be like any non-Asian person saying like being a Chinese baddie, and they'll wake up and they'll make this hot water with lemon. I have a lemon tree in my backyard. It has the juiciest lemons. So now every morning I've just been drinking hot water with lemon because I'm a Chinese baddie, and it has been making me incredibly regular and my digestion literally 10 out of 10. Like it's never been so good. And I think it's because of the hot water with lemon.
That
So
sounds lovely.
that's my light energy object and really just the Asian baddie TikToks in general. It's just very funny to me. Number two is one thing to really ground myself. And when I was going through like a really stressful period last year, a lot of baby snarks reached out to me and said that go outside and put your feet on the grass. So I've been doing that in my backyard in the morning with my hot water and my lemon. I'll go out and step on my grass in my yard, look out to like the hills, and I'll just feel very grounded and peaceful. And I feel like that's been starting my day off really well. I'm still stressed as hell, let's be honest, but I like to start my day off early and like grounded physically.
That sounds
So
amazing.
that's my light energy object, and I encourage all baby snarks if you're dealing with beginning of the year fatigue, stress, anxiety, feeling pressures, just start your day off with hot lemon water, and see how that helps you, at least with your digestion, so you're not feeling as bloated and uncomfortable during the day. So yeah, what's yours?
Mine are kind of like traders themed. So Colton Underwood finally getting the fucking hate he deserves. I
Oh,
feel like it's about time. And I know like maybe not everyone's quite on the bandwagon yet, but I feel like it's starting to the tides are shifting or whatever the saying is, like things are changing. And I'm excited about it because I've been a hater from day one.
same.
And I just he's so evil to me. Like he is the definition of dark energy.
His eyes scare the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And not to plug myself, but I posted a TikTok or a reel at Christy Noel underscore underscore. Michael Rappaport started commenting on it. Like he chimed in on my comments. People are fighting in the comments. And to be clear, when I did this TikTok, I had no idea about the harassment allegations that Michael has had against his ex-girlfriend. Like I just knew the only thing I knew about Michael Rappaport was what he was presenting on The Trader. So I
Yeah.
admit I did not know his problematic history. So take that with a grain of salt when you watch it. But it's popping off because people are fucking pissed. They're like, this is the first time I'm hearing about Colton Underwood. And it's like, babe, I've been here since 2019. I
Yeah, like
remember where I was when the
we were
tracking
trying.
device stories and the temporary
Yeah.
restraining order got signed.
Right,
He's
like we
been
were
sucking.
trying. Yeah, no, he has been. So thank God that people are starting to catch up. And the best part is I bet he thought like going on the traders would be like a good thing for his career.
He thought he was gonna like recover,
Right.
bounce back, be
Yeah.
asked back on so many
Yeah.
shows.
He thought he ate and he didn't. So I'm
Yes,
happy about that. And then my other light energy object are like those little TikTok editors that are working overtime, making Rob Roush edits like there's no tomorrow. Thank you, thank you. Like
I,
before I even finish the episode, I'm seeing the thirst trap edits, and it's just
me
uh,
and Rachel are unhealthily obsessed with Rob Roush. Like, genuinely, I texted you this last night. I was watching Traders last night by myself on the couch, and every time he came up, I would vocally say, my God, he's so hot. Like, he is
Like,
one of the most beautiful men I've ever seen in
yeah,
my life.
I blush every time I see
No,
him.
no, see,
Like,
like how, and it's so funny because you can tell the reason he has such a chokehold on everyone in the castle is because they all think he's so fucking hot.
yeah,
They're obsessed with him.
yeah,
Like
no,
Johnny's like, God, he's so fucking hot. Like,
like, I felt heard, like,
I
yeah,
was dying.
it's like he's like annoyingly hot, like, and
Yeah.
like he knows it, but like he's just so smart and so good at the game.
It like hurts me that I will never be with him. Do you know what I mean?
Wait,
He just
no,
is
yeah, no,
so.
yeah.
Rachel goes, I think I can change him. LOL.
Like, just get like, I just need to like meet him in person. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be totally fine.
Game
So,
over.
Rob, if you're listening, I'm single.
No, you guys are totally age appropriate too. Like that would be a great match.
Hit me up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
they're
No,
doing
one
God's work
one
there.
one more though.
Oh yes, my honorable mention: the edits of Brie and Wrigley, like our secret moments in a crowded room. They have no idea about me and you.
Our secret
Please,
moments in a crowded
like,
room. No,
oh, it
I have
hurts.
not watched last week's or this past week's
Okay,
Tell Me Lies, but God, that show's so fucking good.
it's I really like them together. Like Brie was always my favorite, and now
Me
like
too.
Wrigley's really winning my heart too. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I love all the theories, but yeah, the edits of them just like longingly, like it's just the definition of like yearning. And I think
Yes.
that's why I liked Heated Rivalry so much. I mean, obviously, great show for so many reasons, but it's like bring back yearning. Like that's what I
Yes.
want to see. Like I want to see a like, will they, won't they? They can't, but they want to. But all of that.
Yes, people say that Bree's character is the most complex on the show, which
I
I think
agree.
is totally valid. She's such a good person, just has so many demons and so much
Yep.
trauma. I'm really, really rooting for her. We should do like a live show for that too on like maybe the season finale.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, that would be
very
fun.
excited. Every time the show ends, I'm like, damn it, I wish there was another episode
I
waiting for me.
know. It's so fleeting.
It's a really, really good show. So thank you so much, though, Rachel, for joining us on DET. This was so much fun.
You.
You did such a good job. And do you want to tell people where to find you and anything? I don't know, like
Sure.
plug anything.
Yeah. Really just my Instagram. It's Rachel McQuiston, McQuiston is my last name. Rachel's just Rachel. And I'm so happy I got to do this. It's been such a
Yeah.
dream of mine to join you for an
Aw.
episode and talk. I was nervous, but I knew it'd just be like two girls chatting. So,
Oh, this was so
like it
easy
always
because
is.
this is just a normal FaceTime between you and
Yeah.
I. So I appreciate you so much for taking the time to come and jump on. And Sophie is so appreciative of it too. She will be back, you guys, next week for our regularly scheduled programming. But other than that, you know where to find us at Snark Bait Pod. I'm at Christy Noel __. Sophie's at Soph_Ross. Live shows, x1entertainment.com/snarkbait, patreon.com/snarkbaitpod. All the links, all the things are in our show notes, and we will see you tomorrow on Patreon for a bonus episode, another juicy guest, or otherwise for another long form content on Thursday. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.